Welcome. Izzy Dexter here, the internet's laziest music nerd. I was supposed to give you guys an Ice Cube video 500 days ago or so. It's still coming. Don't worry. We're working on it. But, and I said I would do it when Ice Cube dropped a new album, maybe. And Ice Cube did drop a new album. Big surprise there. A lot of you probably haven't heard about it. And maybe it's because of our subject today, the Kendrick Lamar album that just dropped, GNX. Specifically, we're going to be talking about whacked out murals, and we're going to be talking about why whacked out murals, or how whacked out murals, and a little bit of why and how it's about Ice Cube. Now, I know what you're thinking. Kendrick Lamar's in this huge beef with Drake. If anybody, the song's about him. He mentions Lil Wayne. He mentions Snoop on it. So how could this be about Ice Cube? And while I'll agree the whole thing probably isn't about Ice Cube, I would argue that the first verse is about Ice Cube. And lyrically speaking, as well as I think there's another angle that Kendrick took to give us that clue, more than just the lyrics. But let's look at the lyrics for a minute. So most of this stuff might not really apply to Ice Cube. He's talking about whacking out the mural. I will say he does spell whacked out murals in the Crip way by avoiding a CK next to each other and just going CC. A lot of the stuff he was doing during the beef had a lot of like imagery or iconography associated with the Bloods. Now he's doing a lot of stuff more associated with the Crips, trying to bring that unity. But also, Ice Cube is associated with the Crips. So, loosely. So, I'm wondering if that also has some kind of a tie-in. But before I sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist, let's just go to work here. Let's check out the lyrics, because it's not all about Ice Cube, and maybe that'll make you think that I'm a little bit sane. Falsely. Anyway, okay, so you go through here. All this talk is bitch made. That's on my lord. He certainly, that's a strong statement. He's talking about everyone that's talking about him, right? He's not just speaking on Ice Cube, but here it is right here. It used to be fuck that, but now it's plural. Fuck everybody. That's on my body. Not only is he swearing on his lord that their talk is bitch made, but he's saying fuck everybody on himself, bro. He's saying it on his own life. So this is a clue that it's not just about Drake, not just about maybe Wayne. He's talking about everybody. The whole game. He's saying fuck them. I watch him pander with them backhanded compliments. Ooh, okay. Pandering to an audience revolves around saying that anything to both appeal and appease the intended audience and critique Kendrick has expressed frequently with his lyricism. These annotations, these genius annotations, they're fucking dumb. The only one that's useful is this one that translates this stuff here, but it doesn't say anything about Ice Cube or really relate to anything as far as I'm aware. I think he just kind of told the singer what kind of mood he wanted to bring out, and they did some lyrics, some Spanish lyrics that kind of evoke those emotions. But I watch him pander with them backhanded compliments. Now, it's not only Ice Cube that's doing this, but Ice Cube is definitely doing a lot of backhanded compliments towards Kendrick, even going as far to say that he was Kendrick before Kendrick, but we'll get to all that. We're going to go through some interviews and stuff. We have this line here where right after he says, I paid homage and always mind my business. It's just, I made and it's all blurred out. I'm not going to speculate too much as to what it is. A lot of people say, or like the cadence, it sounds like I made the big three into my bitches. I made the motherfucker stop touching them children. I've heard that one. I think it could even have something to do with Ice Cube. Like he could talk about NWA somewhere in there, or he could make some kind of reference. I never lost who I am for a rap image. It's motivation if you wonder how I did it. So, the losing yourself for a rap image kind of relates to why I'm unsure, and since everything's corrupt, have been, well, not really since everything's corrupt, since everything's corrupt happened, and then Ice Cube started hanging out with Trump. That's where I was like, okay, whoa, like, maybe he really is who he says he is, and now he's changing and he's doing this with Trump. Or maybe he was never who he was saying he was to begin with. Like, his whole political shit was just a rap image. Anyway, as far as lyrics go, there is this other spot that's pretty much everything, though, that lyrically ties this to Ice Cube. But wait, there is a lot more to introduce. You know, kind of talking about this here. Quite frankly, there's plenty of artists, but they outdated old-ass flows trying to convince me that they favorite. Now, he's probably talking about Lil Wayne here, just based on the fact that he got picked for the Super Bowl over Wayne, and now everyone's showing their faces by, you know, but like I'm saying, like, you know, all of them are showing their faces. Like, he's talking about, like, everybody's, you know, other than Nas, who congratulated him publicly, you know, everybody's kind of showing their faces. Quite frankly, there's plenty artists, but they outdated. So he's not talking about just Lil Wayne here. He's saying there's lots of artists. They're all outdated compared to him. Old-ass flows. You're not their favorite. You know, don't acknowledge me, then maybe we can say fair is fair. Take it to the internet, and I'm going to take it there. Now, this could be, you know, the fuck apologies, like, more related to J. Cole, but it could also be, you know, anyone who's given these backhanded compliments or, you know, acknowledging him in a way that he doesn't like. Kendrick's telling them, you know, hey, you take it to the internet, I'm going to take it there, all right? If you don't want to say I'm doing great, if you don't have nice things to say, don't acknowledge me. Let me see. Ducking strays. Let's see. There's one more one more bar in here that I think could kind of relate. But yeah, I'm not sure where it went. Still pandering to choose a side. Let me do it for you. So basically he's saying, you know, if you're going to pander and play both sides of this, you know, Kendrick and Drake thing, real hip hop versus the bullshit. If you're going to play both sides of that, you know what? You're not on my side. So you're on the fucking bullshit side. You're on the pop rap bullshit side of this fucking beef. If you're going to try and play both sides. So that's what he's got to say about the business and everybody else, you know, who's saying stuff about him. Now, the reason that I would tie Ice Cube to this isn't just that he has motive to go after Ice Cube, and we'll get into the motive here in a minute. One, Kendrick Lamar stomped on Ice Cube's release date. He just stomped on it like it was nothing. A month ago, Ice Cube puts out It's My Ego, where he talks about, you know, him being an egomaniac. Or, sorry, that's a different song. It's called Egomaniac. But he basically talks about, you know, him being huge, him being important, him being... Maybe some people are saying Kendrick Lamar has a big ego because he's saying he's the number one. But Ice Cube was basically doing the same thing, and he's saying, I was Kendrick before Kendrick. That's literally straight up what he said. Now, Kendrick does not like those kinds of comparisons. I made this video because I've been guessing a lot of the events before they happen. I know that sounds kind of crazy. I'm not some medium. I don't have ESPN or anything. But way back, when First Person Shooter just came out, I was listening to that, and I'm like, okay, Kendrick is not going to like this. These dudes are on the song, comparing themselves to him, saying that they're on the same level. They're the big three, Drake, Cole, and Kendrick. I was like, Kendrick's not going to like this. I told everybody I knew this song is going to create a lot of problems. This is going to be a big song. It's going to be a problem for Kendrick and for Cole. Not for Kendrick, for Drake and for Cole. It was a problem to Kendrick. He handled the problem, though. So I said that when Like That came out and everyone was like, damn, like he's doing another Control, like he really wants to compete with these dudes. I'm like, no, he doesn't want to compete. Sure, with J. Cole. With J. Cole, it's about competition. It's about, driving each other to raise the bar higher. But I was saying with Drake, it's because he hates that motherfucker. He hates Drake. Because I know how Kendrick feels. Like, I'm not trying to say I'm in his head or anything, but I can tell, based on the hip-hop that he makes, the real shit that he does, and the way he carries himself, that he don't fuck with the Drakes. He don't fuck with the... Plus, I mean, I was one of the guys who figured out Element was a Drake diss before the leaks came out. So, I mean, that's a whole nother thing. But like I said, I've been calling these things from the sidelines, calling balls and strikes for a while, and I finally just wanted to kind of get something out, get something on paper or the internet that everyone can kind of point to and be like, haha, this guy was right. Or if I look like a fool after this and Ice Cube's like chopping it up with Kendrick at the Compton Christmas parade, then I'll just look like a dumbass. But whatever. I've been right too many times and not told the whole internet that I feel like I gotta put these things out here, if nothing else, but that some people will believe me. But yeah, so I've been calling things for a little while here. I knew that was gonna piss Kendrick off, the first-person shooter diss, or the first-person shooter track. Wasn't even really a diss. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really do think this is about Ice Cube, or that at least some of the lines on here are directed at Ice Cube after he said he was Kendrick before Kendrick. And I think that is a absolutely intentional move, dropping this album on Ice Cube's release date. Ice Cube releases the album. It was a planned release date. Everyone knew what day it was coming out. Kendrick drops a surprise album like 12 hours later, right after Ice Cube's album dropped. I hadn't even heard. I'm a big Ice Cube fan. He's in my top 3. The political moves and stuff that he's doing lately, they probably moved him out. He's probably top 5 still. But he's he's been on the decline since since he didn't put out Everything's Corrupt at the time he said he was. He's been a little bit declining in my eyes. And the whole like taking like a month and a half to do the video, and like I don't know, they were just pumping up this It's My Ego video and the album for a really long time. It just kind of seemed like he just kept feeding us little breadcrumbs and trying to like pull us along. Either way, that's the gist of why I'm making this video. And now let's get into a little bit more of the evidence as far as what makes me believe that Ice Cube is being mentioned, other than just the album being dropped on his album right on top of it. Now, like I said, it was only been a month since It's My Ego came out, so Kendrick didn't have a full allotment of time. I mean, he had plenty of time to address Ice Cube, but he didn't have a full like allotment of time to take anything off of Ice Cube's album or take something off of the single and like spin it into a diss or anything like that. And I don't think he wants to diss Ice Cube, right? Like Ice Cube's a West Coast guy as well, just like Snoop's a West Coast guy. I think he wants to show that he's aligned with these guys. But when there's some dissemination from the West, and he's the king of the West, Kendrick's claiming he's the king of the West over here, he can't handle that. He can't put up with dissemination and people on his side, they're supposed to be on his side, pandering to both sides, right? He said, if you're going to pander, I will choose your side for you. And yeah, he has. If I'm, correctly interpreting this, here is the number one piece of evidence that this has something to do with Ice Cube right here. It lines up perfectly with It Was a Good Day. This is posted on Barely Raps TikTok. They have a Barely a Team is their YouTube. They seem related. Barely a Team. So definitely go ahead and give them a like. Check out the full video. I don't want to play everything here, but definitely check out their full video. I'm actually going to give you a snippet here. So this is in order to show that, Barely a Team didn't like slow down the song or slow down Kendrick's verse or anything. I'm going to play a snippet for you guys right now where I lined them up perfectly. Use my DJ skills to fucking drop that shit right on top of each other, kind of like Kendrick did to Ice Cube's album. And I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna play that for you right now and just let you listen to it, and you tell me what you think, if they lined up by accident or if this was an intentional move by Kendrick.
Yesterday somebody whacked out my mural. That energy will make you niggas move to Europe. But it's regular for me, yeah, that's for sure. The love and hate is definite without a cure. All this talk is bitch made, that's on my lord. I kill them all before I let them kill my joy. I done been through it all, what you endure. It used to be fuck that nigga, but now it's plural. Fuck everybody, that's on my body. I'm lit first, then God got me. I watch them pander with them backhanded compliments. Put their head on the Cuban link as a monument. I pay homage and I always mind my business. I made the I never lost who I am for a rap image. It's motivation if you wonder how I did it. Yeah, nigga, going up your rank. Know you a god even when he say you ain't. Yeah, nigga, keep your feelings out the way.
Okay, yeah, I just played a minute there for you. The whole TikTok video, the YouTube videos here, it actually doesn't have the motion at all. It's just a freeze still frame of this frame. So we're not going to watch the whole thing, but it all lines up really good. The first verse especially lines up perfect to the It Was a Good Day beat. And yeah, you could tell, I played both songs there. If you weren't able to tell, it did a really weird thing with the speakers, but it was directly on top of each other. You couldn't even hear the layers of Kendrick singing because they are on top of each other. The words line up perfectly. So there's that. Now, okay, he dropped it on his release date. He talks about, these backhanded compliments, and it lines up perfectly with It Was a Good Day. Why do I think this is a diss rather than, like Man at the Garden is kind of a tribute to Nas's One Mic? And we'll do another video where I'll talk about that a little bit. But yeah, the difference is, I think, between how it lines up with It Was a Good Day and the tribute to Nas. Well, he talks about Nas on the album being the one who thanked him and congratulated him. And he always has had this appreciation for Nas. He's also appreciated Ice Cube. He did, like he said, I'm the Kendrick before Kendrick. He's trying to say that he set the way for like this political movement in rap. And in some respects, Ice Cube was responsible, especially for the West Coast wing of that. You know what I mean? Like taking gangster rap and making it political, the reality raps, stuff like that, that they would talk about. But overall, I think the reason this is a diss instead of a tribute like the one to Nas is because basically Nas is saying great things about Kendrick, congratulating Kendrick, and Ice Cube has been doing somewhat the opposite. So let's check out a couple interviews of Ice Cube and just see what I'm talking about. So this is I'm going to go chronologically here. All these interviews are going to be played in chronological order. This is during the beef, the Kendrick and Drake beef, earlier, back in June, and from the Shaq podcast. So we're gonna play a couple minutes of this. For reference here, this guy over here on the right's going to be talking. He's talking about Shaq having a bunch of unreleased diss tracks here at the beginning when he's talking about what Ice Cube would think about those. But then he goes into the beef really quickly. So, I mean, it's a little bit of a weird transition. But, yeah, let's go ahead and start that up.
You don't even have to do it. I just Just
You want MC on a different level.
never.
I would love Cube's reactions.
There we go.
He in this world of Kendrick and Drake, you know, Cube is still the champ in my mind.
Of course. And you know what, Q? I'm glad that you came out and said it. Because, you know, like, all this new stuff they're going on, you got these new people and they get numbers and beams and people forget.
Beams?
Dope, but it ain't the number one.
Cube took on 4 guys at one time and won.
And a manager.
And a manager.
Drake,
Yeah.
Kendrick beef. You got to win and who's up. You approve or you disapprove.
Well, I mean, I approve of the beef. I always approve of rap. That's the essence of the game. Goes back to Busy B and Kumo D, and even further than that. So, it's part of the game, you know, as long as it doesn't get physical, because that's not rap. When it get physical, that's just street crime. So as long as it stay on wax, it's a beautiful thing.
I'm sorry. Is this guy the guy that said like, you know, oh yeah, if it gets physical, that's just street crime. But like, he's the same dude who walked up into the record executive's fucking office and smashed everything and busted his table and crashed all the fucking records on the wall. Sorry, go ahead.
You know, he's landed the more hard and effective punches, so to speak. But that don't mean Kendrick. I mean, that don't mean Drake get off the canvas. So I think if I was Kendrick, I'd stay cocked loaded. You know, ready for whatever's coming. Whatever's coming. But it's interesting, you know. To me, it always pumps energy into the music because it takes it back to the essence. So as long as it don't get violent, it's fun. The minute it get violent, it ain't rapping.
You talked about That's Gangsta not getting released. Always a mate.
Okay, so that was the first interview he did. He basically just says, yeah, I mean, it's over if Drake wants it to be over. But if I was Kendrick, I'd stay cocked and ready. It don't mean he can't get off the floor. So, okay. In a pretty one-sided beef, like, let's be real, most everybody that exists is saying, yeah, Kendrick fucking destroyed him. Kendrick killed Drake. He might have ended his career. Cube, a West Coast legend, is saying, you know, Kendrick so far has handed the more effective songs out, but he didn't say it like it's definitive, like it's over. Let's see how he talks about it a little bit further along.
It's a lot to talk about. And I don't know where to start at, so I'm just going to start at the end. All right, and we've been having a lot of focus on, of course, the Kendrick and Drake. Yeah, and you are no.
It's a BigBoyTV interview.
To getting into a beef and knowing how to handle it.
If you can't tell.
You know, so when you were watching what was going down with Kendrick and Drake, did that feel familiar to you?
Yeah, it's fun. You know, I mean, it's fun.
Well, it's fun when you win, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun when you win. But it's fun to see people were saying hip hop is
All right. I was gonna wait till the end to bring up this point, but this is another thing that I think kind of touches on why it could be about Cube, or why Cube could be getting involved. Maybe why Cube is hesitant to take Kendrick's side. Everybody knows that Kendrick was talking about fuck the big three, it's just Big Me. He's saying fuck, you know, fuck everybody else is what he's really saying, but he's saying fuck Cole, fuck Drake, it's just Big Me. But at the same time, we the big three, it's like we started a league. It's like they started a league. They're talking about Big Three. Look at Ice Cube. Look at how he's dressed right now. He got Big Three, Big Three, Big Three in the fucking title and description. The Big Three League. Fuck the Big Three is what Kendrick said. So over and over now, Kendrick is saying fuck the Big Three. And that's Ice Cube's entire brand. It's an actual company that he runs. I mean, yes, he's saying fuck the Big Three of hip hop and that it's only me on top. But he's also saying, fuck the big three. Fuck the big three over and over. So I'm not totally saying like just because both the group of everyone that's talking about like I don't know. Everyone like has been saying recently like, oh yeah, the big three. It's always been these three guys. Like they're the big three. I never heard about the big three in my fucking life before until First Person Shooter came out. I never heard anyone refer to Drake, Cole, and Kendrick as the big three. I've never heard that in my life. And it's an insult to Kendrick. It really is. Cole is not on his level. Cole is a couple levels below. Drake is nowhere near his level. Drake is, as far as like lyricism, as far as like being real, as far as like actually making good music, Drake is under the fucking ground, bro. Drake is buried and dead. Like in that conversation. He is nowhere in the big three, bro. Ice Cube's better than Drake at rapping. To this day, I would still put Ice Cube over Drake. I would put anybody, just about anybody over Drake. He's the worst rapper of all time. I've always hated Drake. I've been saying he's a pedophile since I was underage. And yeah, I mean, this beef has been really cathartic for me just because finally a lot of the shit that I've been saying for years and years has been said better than I could say it out of the mouth of the man who is running the rap game. He's what the culture feeling has been for a long time. But anyway, maybe not Ice Cube.
Hip hop is, not the same leg, and then here come this, this him of a beat. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop fans love a good.
Yeah, we see this now.
That's where we start beef on, and it's part of the game. And so, see, when you see the heavyweights, it's always good to see it.
Yeah, there's no escaping this, man. It's at the summer league basketball. It's at soccer games. It's matches in the clubs. It's like, especially when it comes to Not Like Us. That is one of the songs that I feel like is not going to disappear. And it's crazy because we've had people that say, man, there's a certain amount of diss record.
Yeah.
That people say, no, this is the best. And I've said it on air, and I say it many, many times again, bro. No Vaseline to me is the best diss record overall.
Yeah, I mean, look, my life, right? Well, when you see brothers fight, cousins fight, it's just a little more vicious. It was a family feud.
Yeah,
that's why it was, I guess polarized. It wasn't just.
Right.
We live in the same city.
Yeah, and y'all, man, not group, but it's so much together.
Yeah,
man.
So, but the thing is, me and Doug was talking. First jumped off between.
Okay, he's gonna repeat this a couple times in these next couple interviews. I think Dub C might have saved our boy Ice Cube, but here we'll see. We'll see what he's got to say.
Drake, Kendrick is the first person with a hit record. It's a dick on win, and so
you said that early on.
I said it early.
He said the first person with a hit record a hit record diss is gonna win. Obviously, Kendrick was able to do that. Obviously, Kendrick made that happen. But saying that early on almost sounds like you are thinking Drake's going to win. Like you think, oh yeah, he's just going to pop off with some little hit. Even if he's being disrespectful to Drake while he's saying like, oh yeah, he's just going to have some candy bubblegum fucking bullshit hit, but he's going to win the battle. Even if he's saying that, that's not something Kendrick's fucking going to deal with, bro. He ain't going to leave that alone.
Here we have
said the first will come with that major summer hit is going to be the one that wins.
And we see that. Yeah. Go ahead now. Is that
and maybe that's right. Maybe that's a good assessment of what could happen, of what was going to happen, but I don't think it's the assessment Kendrick wanted to hear from a West Coast legend.
Is the Friday script ready? Okay. That's how it's gonna ring out.
That ain't the money ring.
So you,
What if that was Kendrick calling him, guys? Just put our tinfoil hats on for a moment. What if that was Kendrick calling him up like, man, what you on Big Boy TV right now? No, all right. I don't think that happened.
You knew that, man. Whoever make that hit, that's beyond
Just a hit record. Not like us. Hit. What are you rapping about? Banging. So, this isn't being, song, like surgical with it. Undeniable.
Were you watching it from like that? Were you watching it all through kind of
Here and there. You know what I mean? I'm catching. They dropping them so damn fast.
Here and there.
How could anybody keep up?
I did it.
Kids, nothing, man. Even City Entertainment was like, yeah, didn't he drop that like 1 minute later?
Yeah.
If you look at this, man, it was like 9 songs in like a month. Like after they dropped like that in March 22nd, from April 13th to May 5th, it was like 8 more songs that came out.
Nuclear fault.
Yeah, man.
We haven't seen that level before. We've seen this is going right, not that quick. It's quick.
Can you imagine if we had social?
That was real quick.
Vaseline?
Because it felt like we did.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy. It'd be hard to see that. I'm glad we did.
Yeah, it was perfect timing too. And where do you think this goes from here? Because when it was Ice Cube and NWA, that's like brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? And at one time, I know it was crazy. I mean, I was living it too. It was crazy, but then you guys can come and make a movie. You know what I'm saying? But brotherhood with Kendrick and Drake, it's still different because it's not like what you had with NWA.
No, it's not.
Yeah, who knows?
They not like us.
I'm like you. I'm sick.
Could it be over?
Only if
Only if Drake wants it to be over.
Would it surprise you?
Fight.
Right. Would it surprise you if he came with one more? Or you think it's better to just be where it is? Damn. But you're competitive too, man.
He should.
Hey, bro,
what is he waiting on?
It takes a person to get into a beef.
He should, he says.
Because I'm going to tell you straight up, I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it, man. Either I cry or somebody got to die. Like somebody, yeah, man.
Look, if somebody which nothing.
I mean, y'all hit him back. That's hit him back.
I mean,
Yep.
We talking about rap.
Yeah.
When you go to the street, it's a whole.
Yeah, we seen that.
It's just. But hip hop, it's is what it is. It's
When the lynch mob jumped NWA in the airport, that was just straight crime.
the bad, the ugly.
Just
Man, you said that
just saying what Ice Cube said.
when we sat down and we did it off air, you said you had a no Vaseline, second no Vaseline.
Yeah.
And you said
Okay, they're gonna get into some other topics now, but that's Ice Cube on the Kendrick Drake beef. He says Drake is in the driving seat. That it's over if Drake wants it to be over, and that Drake could perpetuate it, keep it going. I'm not Kendrick. But if I'm the man who's, the king of both coasts in one hand, I juggle them both right now. And I got a West Coast legend talking about, well, Kendrick got him with the real good hit, but it's only over if Drake wants it to be over, and Kendrick should be ready and loaded for whatever comes next. I'm taking that as a backhanded compliment. I'm saying Ice Cube is pandering with them backhanded compliments. Let's see some more evidence. Let's see. We got 2 more interviews. This one's quick.
Big on the hip hop beef anymore. Oh, you've never had hip hop beef, right, Q?
Well, I like
This motherfucker in the same crusty t-shirt, in the same fucking Big 3 hat. July.
to be honest, I like.
Just saying.
I like the back and forth on what
The sport of it.
Big 3. When you think of Big 3, and you're not thinking of Drake and Cole and Kendrick, you're thinking of Ice Cube. Not because he's in the Big 3. He might be. He might have used to been in mine, but not because he's in that Big 3, but because he founded a basketball league, the Big 3.
I'll just stay on what.
I'm just saying.
The minute it goes to
There's reasons that motherfuckers could have problems with each other.
The streets or it's physical, and that's just simple. It has nothing to do with music. So
if we keep it to the sport, what do you think about the Drake and Kendrick beef and the back and forth?
It's fun.
Doesn't it make it exciting?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. When people were saying rap was boring and it wasn't really nothing that was, moving the needle. Here comes this that, you got two heavyweights going at it, and like I said, as long as it stay on wax, it's fun.
Two heavyweights going at it. He's kind of putting them on the same level, right? So they're on the same level. But isn't that kind of what Drake said that pissed Kendrick off? Didn't Drake just kind of say, oh, we the big three with Cole and put them all on the same level? Isn't that kind of what started the whole fucking problem? Maybe you don't want to do that, Ice Cube. Maybe you shouldn't compare Drake to Kendrick and put them on the same level and say, oh yeah, you got two heavyweights going at it.
Like not like us.
You got Mike Tyson. You got Mike motherfucking Tyson over here. And you got, I don't know, who's like a mid-ass heavyweight. Not even Buster Douglas, because fucking Buster Douglas could win a fight. Drake is garbage. I don't know who the fuck was listening to Drake before. I don't know who the fuck is listening to Drake now. Just some fake ass motherfuckers.
I talked to my guy Dub C, and when the beef first started, whoever comes out with that mega hit will win. Kendrick did.
No, he didn't do it. He did.
Exactly. Exactly. Ice Cube will sit there and be like, well, whoever could have won it. It was very close. It's a toss-up. Kendrick happened to do it. Even the radio host, I don't know who this is. She had her name card at the beginning, but even the radio host is like, no. You're not stating this correctly. Like, he didn't just do it. He fucking did it. Like, it was a big fucking deal. You need to recognize. And Ice Cube's like, yeah, he did it.
When they teach a master class on hip hop beef and how to do it right, it's gonna be you and Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, you gotta have 50 Cent in there. He's vicious with it.
50 ain't deep enough. Do you hear Kendrick on that? 50 ain't deep enough. So I think he's responding. That's another lyric that I don't even know if it's in Whacked Out Murals. I actually think it's in another one. Might be in TV Off. But either way, I think he's responding directly to this.
Yeah.
I don't know, 120,000. Maybe he's not responding directly to this. This is a small ass channel, but
You're right. Oh my God.
50's like, me and Kendrick. Sure. Let's put 50 in there. That's the big three right there. That's the big three of rap beef. Yeah, brother, you're fucking signing your death warrant right now. Yeah. Death certificate.
Did you at all just look back or just look at what Kendrick had created in the sense of what he did with that? He took it to another level. He created unity with, which I thought was, I was at that concert on Juneteenth, and I thought, man, there are people on this stage that are united that would never have been united before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it reminded me of when Mike Conception did All in the Same Gang back in the day, when there was.
You mean when Eazy-E and the rest of NWA did All in the Same Gang, and you weren't a part of it?
the gang truce, in '92 after the LA riots. This was kind of one of those moments where it was all love.
Yeah. Have you talked to Kendrick?
No, I haven't talked to him.
Man, I would love to see you two get on a record.
Without a doubt. I would love to do a record with him. We did a little something on the George Clinton record. But yeah, we need to do something together.
And it never came out. That might be some kind of sign of something. All right. This one's a lot more recent. 2 weeks ago, Y-Cube said, I was Kendrick before Kendrick on the new song It's My Ego. Look at this guy's face. We got I guess this is bootleg Kev. Yeah, he looks crazy. The frame before this was a Blue Chew ad, so I don't know.
Let's say there's a 17-year-old kid who hears "It's My Ego" for the first time, and they hear you say, "I was Kendrick before Kendrick."
Yeah.
Explain, because I know what you mean, but like,
Well, I started kicking what we call street knowledge.
Yes.
A long time ago, and it's a blend of what's happening on the streets and what's happening in the world, and being able to do it in a dope way, in a hip hop form, and still be fresh but informative.
WrestleMania 13, one of the best WrestleManias ever, by the way. Fucking Bret Hart, Stone Cold, that match, the double turn, that's the best match of all time. Best match of all time.
It's a style that I've helped coin with a few other OGs, like Ice-T and KRS and the Melly Mel and Rakims of the world, but.
And you were like also a good kid in a mad city before.
I mean, we all was.
Oh my gosh!
Like you were like, trying to like get your shit together, going to you went to Arizona to go to college and shit, but you still were kind of telling the story of your neighborhood and of your.
Yeah, and I started rapping that.
Look, I'm not gonna sit here and say it's not a fair comparison. I'm not gonna sit here and say, no, you're not the Kendrick before Kendrick. I will say, where's that energy now? I was looking through the album for any kind of political messages. I ain't find none. I was looking. I've been watching Ice Cube. I haven't forgot about that video I'm making. I've been thinking about it. I've been watching your moves. I've been seeing, with this Trump team, are you going to be, on the transition team? Are you going to be, you know what I mean? So I've been watching. I don't see any political movement now. I don't see any political continuation. I don't see you trying to stand up there on that stage as well with Kendrick and bring unity. Anyway.
14 years old, so it's an age where you trying to figure out which way you're going to go. You're going to go sports, dope, gang banging. Luckily, hip hop was right there, and so that's the door I went through, and it's gotten me here. So, the line is not a diss. The line to me is paying homage to what Kendrick has done.
So Ice Cube says the line is not a diss. The line is paying homage. And then Kendrick on Whacked Out says, I've always paid homage and minded my own business. So he's talking about like, look, I've been the one paying homage to what y'all did, and I'm minding my business. I ain't getting involved in, he didn't come out and talk about Ice Cube. Ice Cube's talking about him. Just saying.
And in the game, to be honest, or I wouldn't even say that.
About to do the halftime show.
Yeah, so salute to
all those Grammy nominations.
Salute to the true artists and
For
not
sure.
compromising the art for the fame. And
I respect that too.
I'm the same type of artist.
Well, he just got, I think, 6 or 7 Grammy nominations for Not Like Us today.
Good.
Can you imagine like no Vaseline?
At least he's giving him up.
Like Grammy nominations.
He's giving props.
The Academy down.
But it does feel backhanded. He giving props, but it does feel backhanded.
Shit, they're still not even showing you like best rap album award on TV, which is fucking preposterous.
Yeah, it's just it's them trying to keep some sense of
Number one genre of music in the world, but let's not show the album of the year. Couple of quick things. Would you ever do a podcast?
Okay, so they go on to do talk about some other stuff. But yeah, I do think it is very possible that Kendrick is at least warning Ice Cube. He's at least warning him not to keep saying the same things or to maybe change his tune a little bit. And as we've been moving along, this is a Billboard interview Ice Cube does like an hour after the album after GNX comes out. A day at about 12 hours after his album came out, maybe 13 hours. So Ice Cube returned on Friday, delivered the Man Down album, his first album since 2018's Everything's Corrupt, which served as his only release under Interscope Records. Holy shit. Wow. Everything really is corrupt, man. He I think he signed like a 6-year deal. He released one fucking album. If I ain't making somebody mad, I ain't doing something right. Told Bootleg Kev in an earlier November about his mindset going into every project, and Man Down is no different. So, if I ain't making somebody mad, I ain't doing something right. That's a good idea. You know what? I think that's good. It's for a political rapper to be like, okay, I'm making somebody upset. You don't want to upset Kendrick, dog. You don't want Kendrick to be upset with you. And that line was unnecessary. You didn't have to have it in there. Yeah, we'll skip around here. About an hour before hopping on a Zoom interview with Billboard, Kendrick Lamar shook up rap's landscape when he dropped the metaphorical bomb on the industry with his surprise GNX album. While Ice Cube declared himself Kendrick before Kendrick on Man Down single It's My Eagle, he isn't too worried about Kendrick Lamar crushing his release day. That's why Kendrick putting out a record doesn't hurt my mission of serving my fan base, he explains. This record is here for Ice Cube fans. I know Ice Cube fans are going to check it out, and that's why I said mission accomplished. Okay. You can check out the rest of the interview. So, yeah, Kendrick Lamar just dropped his album together about an hour ago. An hour ago. How is he going to step on Ice Cube's release day? Yeah, it was a secret record. I'm interested to check it out. This is Ice Cube talking. It ain't stepping on nothing. My fan base has been waiting for this record, and they gonna check mine out. Personally, yeah, you've been talking about it for like fucking 8 months. Yeah, like I did want to hear the record. I was waiting for it, and I did check it out. But I do think whether it actually ends up hurting you or not, Cube, and I'm not saying that it's not hurting Cube. Like I do think that Kendrick Lamar dropping on the same day and nobody talking about fucking Cube's release date. I haven't heard shit about this album. Like, I haven't heard shit about this album except shit that I looked up, that I looked for because I'm an Ice Cube fan. So he's right about that, you know, the Ice Cube fans are going to hear about it. But like your general rap fans, like your hip hop heads that are going on Spotify, they might not even fucking know Ice Cube released an album at this point. GNX took over the week, took over the month. It's going to take over 2024. His fan base is going to be pleasantly surprised that he dropped a record. I don't look at it that way. Man Down. This one's not related. Veterans have really been stepping up this year. They say hip-hop's a young man's game, but Rakim dropped, Snoop and Dre coming up, and you dropped. How do you feel about the guys making noise? They didn't talk about Nas here, which is kind of crazy. Most of the people who say hip-hop's a young man's game don't do it and ain't never gripped a mic and ripped it. I ain't worried about my ACL and my Achilles. This is wordplay. This is wordplay and flow. This is skill and beat selection, concept and hook selection. The veterans are great and should be able to make music that we love you for. Wait, what? The veterans are great and should continue to make the music that we love you for. Okay, so he's not talking about... He is talking about himself, but he's talking about it from a third person. Okay. The veterans. Okay. Break My Mirror. He teamed up with Exhibit. That's actually worth a listen. Y'all should check that out. As far as the label situation, not with Interscope anymore. Great working relationship with Hitmaker. Okay, I got you. I saw a bar you said, you're going to lose your fan base chasing a fan base, if you could expand on that. When you first get in the game, you just want to expand your fan base. You're trying to become a worldwide artist so that you're loved all over the world. You're always reaching for more and more people to recognize your shit and dig what you do. At a certain point, if you reach so much, you end up stretching the shit out of yourself or coming up detached from your base. Okay. Ice Cube talking about people being detached from their fan base is kind of crazy. Like, top 20 Ice Cube fans right here, and I'm telling you, he dropped out of my big three. Just saying. You're just floating, and your base left you, And now you're looking for new fans that might not even come. You're baseless. Always serve your fan base. The people that got you there and been there year after year after year. Always keep them in mind when you are doing anything, and let new fans come to you. Don't reach for them. Okay. I like the sentiment. I just wish Ice Cube would follow his own advice. I don't know that he's definitely talking about Kendrick here, but it does, I don't know, it does come off like he might be talking about Kendrick here. That's all I'm going to say about that. This part, he talks about it a little bit as well. He said, that's the future. We can hold on to 1,000 different platforms. So it's going to come down to the fans directly to what you have to give. That's why Kendrick putting out a record doesn't hurt my mission of serving my fan base. This record is an Ice Cube record for Ice Cube fans. I know Ice Cube fans are going to check it out. And that's why I said mission accomplished. Feedback from my day ones is they love the record. It's a beautiful day. All right. I think there's one more thing where he talks about Kendrick a little bit. What do you think about Kendrick Lamar unifying the West Coast in his battle with Drake? And how does Not Like Us measure up to No Vaseline? As a hit, it's humongous. As a diss, it's top notch. It's one of the best disses that's ever been done. Me and my homie Dub C talked about it when the battle first started. We were like, the first one who does the battle off a hit beat is going to be a knockout blow. It's going to cause a lot of damage because that's what No Vaseline is. It's a hardcore diss, but it's over hit music. It's hard to miss when you have that, when you got that combination. When I heard Not Like Us, I was like, he got it. It's the perfect music for the perfect diss. Where he goes that No Vaseline, where he goes that No Vaseline don't go is that he made a hood anthem. Everybody's singing along and can scream that hook. You could be talking about the football team across the field and be like, they not like us. It's just an anthem that brings everybody in just on that tip alone. That three-pronged combination of incredible lyrics. It's cut deep. It cut deep and it's hit music. Then making an anthem, it's hard to beat that. So, I don't know about you, but that's a noticeable, like measurable switch up from where he was before. Because where he was before was Not Like Us. It's a hit record. No Vaseline is the best diss record. Like, perfect diss. Now he's even saying, well, they go past No Vaseline and made a hood anthem. Like a hood anthem. Because No Vaseline's very specific about who it's talking about. They Not Like Us could be applied to anybody. To me, that's a big switch up on what he's saying. And I don't know, maybe he's been talking to the team, or maybe Kendrick dropping on top of him kind of before even listening to the album. He kind of had okay, maybe I need to switch up the way I'm talking about this and be a little bit more unified with the rest of the West. I do believe that is... Yeah, that's the rest of the interview there. But in summation, basically, Kendrick drops and stomps on Ice Cube's release date. He's talking about people making backhanded compliments. He's talking about fuck everybody that's pandering to both sides. I'll choose your side for you. And he's doing it to Ice Cube's fucking video. To Ice Cube's beat.
Yesterday somebody whacked out my mural.
He's doing it on a beat that very minimal beat, actually. Like, if when we heard that little minute of song, the beginning of Whacked Out Murals is just noise, like a little bit of beat in between the lyrics. Like, it's not even, a full beat at the beginning. And I really do think that it was because creatively he wanted it to line up. He wanted it to line up perfectly with this song. I do think Kendrick's talking about Cube. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know if Cube's compliments that are not as backhanded anymore are starting to, I do think Kendrick was only trying to warn him, right? Like, I don't think Kendrick was trying to come down hard on Cube. But I do think he sent a little shot that Cube, once he listens to the record, I think that Cube's going to feel it. And I think that Cube should just compliment Kendrick and back off, because he don't want that smoke. He don't want that smoke. Nobody wants it with Kendrick right now. Nobody wants it with Kendrick right now, and I don't recommend it. Now Lil Wayne, there are some more Lil Wayne disses on this album than people think. People think it's just him talking about the Super Bowl, and there's some more Lil Wayne disses on there. We're gonna get into that in a different video. But let me know what you think. Let me know who you think would win, Kendrick or Ice Cube, and let me know if you think it's even a beef to begin with, because obviously I did that whole video, Ice Cube versus Eminem. A lot of people didn't even think there was a beef there, and they had a lot more direct call-outs. So you tell me if you think there's a beef brewing, or you think maybe it's just a warning shot, or you think there's nothing there at all, and I'm just crazy. Cuckoo off my rocker and shit. But we're gonna do another video. We're gonna talk about the Lil Wayne disses, and yeah. So definitely like and subscribe. Keep up with the channel. I threw them a like over at Barely a Team. They only got 45 views on this video. Go over there and show them some love. I think it's a really nice mashup. It actually just jives good as fuck. Like, it's just nice to listen to. I kind of like this version of Whacked Out Murals. Not better. It's got the same lyrics. Actually, the last half of Whacked Out Murals, I like the beat a lot, so I'm not going to say I like it better. But, I mean, It Was a Good Day is a classic beat, like a just fucking beautiful piece of music. So, I don't know. I love the mashup. Y'all should check it out, too. Throw them a like, throw me a like, throw a subscribe in. Yeah. Catch you in the next one.